Hey guys. Oh,
We're live now.
let me.
We're live.
Oh,
okay.
it's Monday, y'all.
Hi, everybody. Hope y'all good. I still hear a little echo. You hear it?
No, I don't hear anything.
I think. Let me turn my volume down some. That might be it.
You hear
Hello,
it now?
all. That's better. That's better. Hello, all. How are you all doing? Hope you are doing great. God is good. Do us a favor and share as much as possible if you can. We are on. Hi, how are you? We'll speak on a thing. Motivational Mondays.
Yep, Motivation Monday.
Motivation Monday. Yes. I need to sound a little more motivated, I guess.
Motivation Monday. Woo!
I'm screaming on the inside. Hi, Valerie. How are you?
Hi, Valerie.
I'm still trying to wake up. Well, I'm awake, but somewhat. It's up at like 6 o'clock this morning. This whole thing got my sleep schedule all messed up.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. I was up watching the Jordan documentary. Got up, watched a little stuff this morning. I prayed and read my Bible. Praise the Lord.
Nice, very nice.
Yes.
Reading your Bible.
Yes. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. That's good to hear. What's up, Wadi? Hey, Valerie, how you doing? What's up, Sandra?
Hey.
Y'all do us a favor and please share if you can. Whatever platform you're on.
Let your friends know. Have a watch party. Ace it.
Yeah. How do you set up a watch party? I know I asked you this like 3 million times. How do you set up a watch party again?
So when you click the share button, you should see an option to start a watch party on the video.
Okay.
Hey, Pastor Val.
Hi. I just got done talking to you. All right. Yeah, so y'all do us a favor, share as much as possible. Again, hi, Schamberger. How are you? We need you to share. We're sharing because we're going to get started real quick. Real soon. I ate before I came, so I won't be rushing off because I'm hungry.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find it on YouTube to share with people. Hey, what's up, yo? Gambro. Hello, Mom Laboo. How are you? Donald and Marshall. Sorry, you say something? Oh.
I was going to say, did you guys watch the Hezekiah Walker, John P. Key face-off last night?
Took me back. I was in my living room doing a little two-step dance like we used to do back in the choir. He was in the kids' choir. The teens' choir, we sang that stuff. We sang that stuff, man. It was John P. Key and Hezzy like every Sunday. We didn't sound that good, but you know.
Y'all did okay.
No, we sounded bad a lot. And we were some Sundays we were absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I think the sound was bad last night, but I think it's because Instagram isn't built for what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
The Teddy Riley one and Babyface one, the sound wasn't the best. And then hey Joyce, and then the who's it? T-Pain and Lil Jon did one, the sound wasn't the best. And but I mean, even with the sound being bad, I think it's more nostalgia in the whole competition and the fun of the comments. And if you're really not into that kind of stuff, it won't be entertaining. But the comments were absolutely hilarious.
I believe it.
I was watching it and I was cracking up while singing the songs too. It was so funny.
How long were they on for?
Literally, first they were on for, it was supposed to be 2 hours. So Instagram. But see, Yolanda, he was on by himself. When it's two people on at the same time, I think it's because that's how the sound was bad. Because trying to get the other, like when it was the first hour, Hezi started the stream, and his sound wasn't as good. And then John P. Key started the second stream, and the sound kind of flipped. It just kind of was weird. It's like whoever started it, the sound was better than the person that joined it. But what they probably should do is create an actual website where they can do stuff like this, where the sound can be better and kind of have a chat option in there.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if they can link it to Instagram or something like that or whatever. It just have people come on and comment. But it was, I thought it was pretty fun. It was, I mean, the sound was horrible, but I mean,
I get it for the nostalgia aspect of things,
nostalgia.
But
because
I was kind of bored.
But the whole premise is to see what are they going to one up each other with. Mm-hmm. So Hezi would come in with a strong song. John P. Key would come with pow, hitting right back. John P. hit one, Hezi would do boom right back. So it's the fact that people were taking score.
Right.
If it was just people listening to music, people would have been like, 20 minutes in, I'm done. Mm-hmm. But it was the whole scoring, the comments, the nostalgia.
All that at once.
I mean, they had John Gray was on, all the major gospel music people on. Fred Hammond was on, Kurt was on, major preachers was on. So people were just tuning in to see what the Furtick was saying.
They were going to say. Okay.
Yeah. Furtick was chiming in, cracking jokes. Kurt Franklin was cracking jokes. I mean, it's the whole experience of it.
Right.
That makes it, I mean, yes, y'all right. The sound was bad. It was terrible. But
I wonder.
But after they went again for another hour. After they said the 2 hours over, they kept on playing. And I was like, "Well, Jordan's on." I'm like, and I bounced.
I wonder if they would watch if we did something like that. If we had a Bishop, Pastor Nick face off.
Doing what?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
We're in different ears, but I like hymns.
Yeah.
And I like some old stuff and some new stuff. We're both there too. We should do a CCM versus gospel.
Okay.
And I got
that would be interesting.
We have to have a more diverse group for that. We're going to get started. We're just giving y'all time to share and giving people time to come on. But you know what? No, this actually could segue into the conversation though. Talking about maximizing moments. I think this stuff was just started as a opportunity to do something.
Yeah.
But who knew that Babyface and Teddy Riley would have 3 or 4 million people watch?
A lot of people.
Right. And they had almost 96,000 people watch Sunday night. And I'm not sure about the Little John and T-Pain one. Now they're talking about Diddy and Dre having one, which is going to be probably even bigger, to be honest with you. But I think people are just seeing opportunities in these moments. And again, it goes back to, are we looking for opportunities? And you have to have Instagram to watch these face-offs.
Actually, no.
But some people were taping them. And
here's a social media fact for the day.
Okay.
Instagram just did a thing now where you don't have to, you can watch the face-offs on your desktop, and you don't have to have an Instagram account to view it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a new feature because they know maximizing opportunity that these are the things that are catching people's attention.
So how do they do it? Where do they go?
So you just go to the profile. So Instagram.com/BBC of NJ if we were doing it. Okay. And they can see all of our lives that we're doing.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
We could do a battle off.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that'd be cool.
I'll be on us. Get my DJ skills up.
He's ready, y'all.
Right. But plus, Maya, you're boring, so you wouldn't enjoy stuff like that. So
yeah, that's true.
I'll take it. The sound was bad. All y'all saying the sound was bad. You guys are right. It was bad. But the comments were hilarious. But again, if you're not into the comments, into the whole everything that comes along with it, you won't find it entertaining. If you're just doing it, just listen to music, it's probably not for you. So if it wasn't for you, that's fine. It's just some of us had a good time. It was pretty cool. They're talking about doing a Israel Houghton versus Fred Hammond, which I think would be a great one. Because the two of them have a similar, they can match up. people talking about Kurt. I don't think anybody can go against Kurt in gospel music. It's been too long, and he's been so hot for so long.
Yeah.
And his sound is so unique. Like, who would you think would go against Kurt Franklin?
I know, so I was trying to think. Maybe Kurt Carr?
Nah. Kurt has more success than Kurt Carr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
That's the thing. John P. Key and Kurt had probably the
Stable internet connection.
we're back.
Hey.
We're back. Sorry, y'all. Look, this is annoying. Dietrich Haddon with Smoke Franklin. Are you serious? What?
No.
What?
I mean, he has some good stuff, but not on the same level.
Some. I ain't knocking him like that, but I'm just saying against Kurt. Kurt got a whole. I mean, he could take you back from silver and gold all the way until all that. He would just, you go tap one for one with Kurt. Nah.
Does Yolanda say Kurt and Donald Lawrence?
Donald Lawrence already said he doesn't want to do it. He said, y'all leave me out of it here. He says, y'all leave me out of it. But even though I think Kurt would, because Kurt did look at how long he's been from silver and gold all the way till now. He's still making hit music. Mm-hmm. Most people don't have that same thing. But Donald Lawrence said he don't want to do it. He said he's good. He says, y'all keep me out of it.
Wow. Okay.
No. Unless we have a preacher off.
That would be cool.
that would be so corny. I would not even watch that.
That's how you do it, right?
Right. But the big thing now is like so we can kind of start getting a little somewhat serious is
Ricky Dillard.
You know what? Ricky Dillard would actually be a pretty good option.
Yeah.
Even though I think Kurt's music a little more diverse, I think he would he wouldn't do too good with them. But what was I saying? We were saying something earlier before the thing cut off.
I don't remember.
I don't remember now. Anyway, dance off. Yolanda, are you going to show us? You going to join the dance off? Send us a video you dancing, Yolanda. I know we got some videos you shouting, but let's get some dancing videos. But actually, we want to do a dance off. Didn't y'all talk about that? Like
yeah.
But everybody's scared to come out, so.
We have to just be more creative with it. We can still work it out. Yeah.
Or when this whole thing is lifted, we can do it. Better. No, come on, Sister Gambrell.
Oh, we can't cop out. Come on now.
Send us the groove. Act like, you was a church girl growing up. Yeah, that's true. I know, Prescott will send us some. Lord have mercy. She might backslide. We might have to bring her back in. Only the gospel music.
Right.
Only the gospel music. Anyway, so you posted something on your Instagram today, so we can kind of get into more of a serious comment. Serious part of maximize our opportunities. So I'm scrolling through IG today, and hey, Sister Linda, and I saw your post about getting close to 30.
Yep, pushing almost there.
It's scaring you some. Yeah. So why don't you share that with people? Because I think that's a good segue of y'all want to do a dance off? If you're interested in doing a dance off, send an email to social@gotobethany.com. That's social. I'll type it into the comments. social@gotobethany.com. All right. If you want to be in a dance off, do it there. All right. So anyway, so you posted on Instagram today. Let's talk about that a little bit. Go ahead, tell people about what you posted.
So I'm about 3 months away from being 30, and I'm the type of person that likes to have everything planned out, accomplishments, kind of be strategic about it, if that makes sense. And so I think with that comes a lot of pressure to kind of live up to my own expectations on where I think I should be in my life. And of course, like things happen, and not all of my goals that are checked off that I want to have done by this time.
Mm.
So just trying to deal because I realize I put a lot of pride, for lack of better words, in those things.
Mm.
So maybe you can help me out with that in terms of being okay. What I said, look, thank you. I'll take 22.
Yeah, 20. She does look like she's like 20.
I'll take it for as long as I can.
You said you're 27?
Me right now?
Yeah.
No, I'm 29.
Oh, you're 29.
I told you I'm pushing 30.
Oh,
3 months away.
Oh, 3 months away. Oh, we need to have a party. We need to have a party, number one.
Okay.
Number two, that's good. Cool. But you know what it is? I think those of you that are 30 and over can relate to this. The day I turned 30, the day I was like, yo, I really need to kind of get a little more serious about my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I told somebody this and they thought I was crazy. I said, I felt like I didn't accomplish that much and I need to push harder. They're like, what are you talking about? You're the executive pastor of the church. You married. Yeah. You know, I think what it shows us, number one, is that when you always have future goals, you're never fully satisfied with where you are. Mm-hmm. So you could have those things by the time you're 30 and still wake up like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And still be like, well, dag, you know, I'm behind. Mm-hmm. So that it's learning to be content where you are while still desiring more.
Right. And
understanding that life doesn't work out the way you want it to work out. And watch this, if you don't reach certain things by your 30, 40, 50, 60, unless you've been completely wilding out, but if you've been striving for it and it just hasn't been kicking, then maybe there's a timing thing too.
Right.
You know, and I think sometimes, especially and I'll say this, as a man, it's hard being a woman looking at y'all, because by the time you're 30, it's like, how come you're not married? How come you don't have kids? What's wrong with you?
Getting
you
all those questions.
Yeah, you must be crazy. You know, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know, and it could be just possible that, you know, things just haven't worked out to that place yet. Mm-hmm. But the automatic assumption is if you're not married and you're over 30, you're crazy. Something's wrong with you. You know, and don't let people start asking, when do you want to have babies? You know, or your parents. You know, I'm not saying your parents do this. I'm talking about parents in general do this. Yeah. When you can bring me some grandkids. You know,
I've heard that too. So,
and you feel that pressure. And then sometimes people that mismanage that pressure go out and find a person, get a body and not a person. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. So you got somebody, but it's not the right person.
Right.
Because there's that pressure, you know, to have all this stuff by the time you're 30. When the reality is, I counsel a lot of people, jokers that are 40, 50 years old, still try and get it together.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody that's over 30, 40, 50 can tell you, we all got a lot to work on. Mm-hmm. You know, we're just some more mature crazy. That's all.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
You know what I mean?
I think what doesn't help too is social media, because Facebook, you're seeing all your friends posting vacationing, kids, family, whatever. That sometimes a lot of those life goals, like I see it somewhere else, and I'm like, okay, I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah. And Dre, you're right. You know, I wasn't depressed when I woke up, but I woke up and said a little something. I can't say it on here because it was it might cost me. You know, Bishop will get me because I woke up and was like, and I said something. I was like, I'm 30. I was like, I need to get it together. I was like, because like when they tell you the older you are, the faster time goes, they're not lying. The older you are, the faster time goes. It feels like it's just running, and you're always playing catch up. And you're wondering what's going on. You know, Sid, you're right. That internal clock ticking too.
Yeah.
But what's interesting though, let me ask you this question then. Back in the day, you know, the primary thing for most women was get married, have a family, not necessarily a career. But so you have women having babies at a younger age back then and getting married versus now the women are having kids in their mid 30s, late 30s and working more in their career. Do you think we're holding a current generation to older expectation?
I think so.
Of women.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Like, I know I've been asked a lot, "When are you gonna slow down?" Even, like, "Where's your
When you gonna slow
boyfriend?" That
down? What
sort
you
of
been
thing.
doing?
Not slow down, but settle down.
Oh, settle down.
Settle down.
I'm like, slow down. What you been doing this whole time? They only
No.
say slow down when you've been out there running the streets and
Right,
stuff.
not doing that.
Sister LaBoo, get your daughter, please.
But, like, I think people are definitely still stuck on those old standards and maybe don't even put as much value for a woman in, being career-oriented first.
Mhm. That's true. Now let me ask you
Mhm.
a question then, so we can dig in a little more. And we're so
Okay.
glad for y'all comment coming in. This just turned into a Women's Day. It's Women's Day this Sunday, so maybe it's turned into a Women's Day motivation Monday.
Yeah.
Um, do you think the pressure is more internal than or external?
Can I say half
Oh boy.
and half?
Okay.
I don't know. Um, I mean, I know I have a lot of internal pressure because, of course, I'm very focused on my career, but having a family and that sort of stuff is something that's very important to me.
Mhm.
And going back to the whole biological clock, like science-wise, time's getting short. So,
Right.
like, that's where a lot of my internal pressure is.
Mhm.
But I do know that I get a lot of
Okay.
questions of when I am going to start settling down. Um, so for me, I think it is like a half and half type of situation.
Okay. And Yolanda saying equal pressure. A couple other people said equal
Hmm.
pressure too. But it's
Hmm.
the one thing I love. Um, One of the things I love about women, you guys will go through years of feeling insecure about yourself, so and so,
Hmm.
with pressure. And somewhere around those 40s and at 50s, there's like
You get
this
out
switch
there.
that goes off. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
It's like a certain security, a certain calm that comes the older y'all get. And I enjoy seeing that progression in a lot of people. Uh,
Hmm.
versus a lot of guys that are very immature growing up. And then the older they get, I heard somebody say this, and I believe this is somewhat true. Not for everybody, but it's
Yeah.
somewhat true. He said most men stop cheating, not because they don't want to, they stop cheating because they're tired. And
Wow.
the way he talked about that, he said, he said when they got it all out the system and they're tired, they kind of just choose to be consistent. But I think part of that is because we raise girls to be more responsible than boys.
Hmm.
You talk to most families where a sibling's a boy and a girl in the house, or there's girls and boys in the house. The boys are allowed to play. The girls are cleaning up the house, learning how to cook, learning how to
Right.
do all this stuff, you know? And we don't give the boys the same expectation of maturity that we do our girls.
Hmm.
And I think that's a fault against most men. And that's why we see so many young men growing up, maturing
Okay.
slower.
Uh-huh.
And then at the same time, too, look at our toys. Our toys are all fun, competitive. Y'all toys is Barbie. You get a Barbie playhouse. It's so family oriented. It's so
It's
center
true.
oriented.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it teaches the girls that this is the main thing of your life. And Yolanda's right. Not every woman wants to settle down or have children, and
That's
that's okay.
another thing.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely fine. I think the problem is we train our girls from early. This is the most important thing, rather than it being the icing on the cake. We train them that it's the cake. So if you don't have these things, you have a nice career, you got money, but if you don't have a man, then you start doing crazy stuff to get male attention. But
Hmm.
you feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know,
Chef Moy says, I feel age is just a number. However, based on what people have been through, what they want to accomplish what they want to accomplish, that view may differ.
okay, I missed that part. Was that a question? I was
It's a
reading somebody
statement.
else's comment. Oh, okay. All right. I was reading somebody else's comment. But I think we need to go back to how we're training our boys and our girls. Like I'm aware of that. So my son, he's learning how to cook with us now.
Hmm.
We make him clean up stuff. My daughter just naturally, it's funny part of this is somewhat nature too. My daughter runs towards dolls. She wants
Yeah.
to feed the baby, do all this stuff, and nobody taught her that. Nobody trained her to do it. Nobody. But she wants some dolls, and she gets the little bottle, and she wants to do all this stuff with it. But one of my goals for her is to teach her how to have that balance, to not think the whole center of your life is to have a man, to have kids, and that's that way you're gonna be happy. You know, I need you to think of your life more well-rounded with career, and if you choose to have somebody have kids, then cool.
So I guess as a father, then how do you do that? Like, how do you instill those things into her?
A lot of it is just conversation, but it's also what's revealed. So, you know, my kids are seeing their mom and their father cook for the family. You know, they see both of us working.
Yeah.
You know, when she has to leave, mommy's going to work. I got to leave now. Granted, because of my job, I work crazier hours. They know daddy's leaving to go to work.
Yeah.
But it's taught and shown that we have a partnership, you know, and a woman and a man can have both, because I want my son to pursue a woman that has more going for her than her body and her looks. And I want my daughter to pursue somebody that has more than just money, a career, somebody that can be able to balance this thing out, be a support, be a partner, be a helpmeet to each other. But like your mom says, we socialize our boys in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we do. We socialize our boys to have fun and play games. And we wonder why they don't grow up. We socialize our girls to be cleanly, responsible, all that stuff. And then we wonder why one's maturing a little faster than the other one, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So and then at the same time, even when it comes to like pursuing each other, and you know, we teach our girls from early, you know, protect your body, don't let nobody mess with you. You know all the stuff they say. You know, keep it closed. You know, don't give it up. You know, but we teach our boys will be boys.
Right.
You know, boys will be boys. Just go ahead and do your thing, and you know, this is the statement. Just don't get her pregnant, right? That's the statement. The girls, you better stay clean, stay a virgin till you get married, and we don't teach our boys the same character principles. You know?
Yeah. So then, like, what can we do to kind of combat that then?
Again, it goes back to teaching boys the value of what they have to bring to the table. That you know, even though the world tells you that men and women are we're the same, but there are some differences. You know, most men can get away with how can I say this? Being with multiple women and not getting emotionally caught up. We're a little better with that. But at the same time, teaching our boys character responsibility, that your body is not just something to control you. You have to learn to control it. You know, especially, you know, we're saying we teach our kids, rebuke that demon. You know, you feeling sexual, rebuke it in the name of Jesus. You know, pray it all away. When the reality is, the feeling isn't demonic. What you do with the feeling can be demonic. But if God gave you the feeling, it's a natural function. It's a part of life, and we got to teach management, and not that it's this demonic feeling. That's why you have so many repressed, saved people walking around. Oh my God, the devil's attacking my body. No, it's not. That's just your body being a body. It has feelings, it has urges, it has needs, but you just have to learn to manage that thing. You know? So, but I think it's how we raise our boys, or Trey, you're crazy, raise our girls, you know, and how we manage that. So, you know, my son sees that, you know, my wife, we're partners, but there's some things he feels more comfortable with me with. And my daughter, same way, because, you know, man, you know, come on now, you know what I mean? You know, it's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's what it is. It's just a certain thing where I can walk in the house, not that you don't listen to your mom. I just look at them, just sit down, just, you know, I ain't got to yell. It's just, started the voice. And a man is the head as it relates to responsibility and example. So not lording over your family, but being the most accountable, most responsible one, leading the charge to make sure that the family's taken care of. But it's all, and you can teach that, but also teach a strong woman at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, on the other end of things, like here I am, 30 now, whoever. Like, how do you start to kind of reverse the psychological impact of what that has done to your life?
Mm. If that was the easy answer, we'd all be different. Because look at it. It's like, so say for instance, right? You just learned something new today
Hmm.
that you believed all your life, something different.
Hmm.
Truth doesn't necessarily change you all at one moment. The recognition of truth doesn't just automatically say, okay, for 29 years I believe this, I learned this, now I'm completely changed. No,
Hmm.
it takes years of unlearning a lot of
Right.
stuff sometimes, and it's sometimes a daily process, a daily fight to unlearn those ingrained thoughts in us,
Hmm.
that subconscious tape that just keeps on running. Even when you're not
Yeah.
talking, the tape just keeps on going.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
that belief system that's in there. It takes time. Look at it. It took God. It took God one night to get Israel out of Egypt. It took him 40 years to get Egypt out of there.
Hmm.
It, it, God is showing us that it takes time to change. Oh, this hat's hurt my ear. Sorry, I didn't shave today. Sorry, y'all. It takes time to change.
So Kifi says, should there be a male role model for females, or are there role reversals?
I mean, I think every man models for his kids what a man should look like. A woman models you know, a woman models for her kids what a woman should look like. So, my mom worked a lot. Part of it because she had to. You raising 3 kids by yourself, you have to work a lot.
Hmm.
So I'm used to a woman that works. Now, if I made enough money and my wife decided to stay home, I wouldn't be upset if she wanted to be a stay-home wife. I just need you to have a work ethic in whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, I need you to have work ethic. I want you to just be the one. This is me. This is just for me personally.
Hmm.
I need you to be the one that can't take no pressure. Because I grew up with a mom that went to work. I mean, like 45 minutes away. Came home when we were young and we weren't old enough to like cook.
Right.
Come home and cook. I'm used to a versatile, strong woman. I'm attracted to that.
Hmm.
But that was modeled for me. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm talking about for me.
Right.
So I need that, a woman that can handle some pressure, and we work out taking the pressure off each other, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
You know, but
Not supporting each other.
but that's me though. I grew up with a strong grandfather in the house, so I need to, around. So I need to be able to, I knew at the end of the day we can go to our grandfather if we needed something. He was there. He worked hard. He was there, made sure food was on the table, all that stuff. That's all I know. All right. And be emotionally available to my kids. So a lot of it's modeling and words, but kids pay attention to modeling more than words. And my mom told me that. That's good, Dana, because my mom told me, she said, you got to learn how to cook. She said, you won't always have a woman to cook for you. She told me that when I was younger, and we had to learn how to cook. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So what do you think about this question? Strong woman equal bossy, and strong man equals the leader.
But you know what? That is a view that some people have. A man can say it.
Mm-hmm.
He's demonstrating leadership. A woman says the same thing under the same circumstances. She's being bossy, and other words, and such and such and so and so. A man can be loud. A woman has to always maintain her composure. It's an unfair expectation.
Mm.
I think it's wrong because a man can be bossy, a woman can be bossy. And I think we just have to be able to give people a fair chance. Now, here's the problem: you can't always trust intent. But again, it goes back to women. This is where you should be. It reminds me. Let me take a tangential example. So it reminds me of the civil rights movement, and we see it even now. The loudest ones were considered the worst ones.
Right.
The calm ones that was fighting for freedom. You stay in your place. Just if you're gonna make noise, make low noise. Those that are real loud, we got a problem with you. And part of that is the majority trying to maintain some control over the minority. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people that can be very controlling, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just revealed differently. That's all. But there are a lot of men out here that don't mind, strong women.
Mhm.
It's just knowing how. Here it is knowing how to show each other respect within your strength. If
Gotcha.
your strength is disrespects me, then we got a problem. If I can say it like that.
Mhm. So, what are your thoughts then in terms of like leadership in church? Um, deacons, pastors, and kind of I'll say like hesitancy that some people have to being under that sort of leadership.
I mean, to me, if God sends you to a church as a woman as a pastor, then you sit there under that woman and learn as much as you can.
Hmm.
I have no problem with women preaching. I mean, you see, we got women preachers here now, and some churches, you on the pulpit, you ain't preaching, but you got to be on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm up here, you stay down there.
Hmm.
Um, I
But
believe
where does that even come from though?
well, it's some men using scriptures. Women keep silence in the church, and
Hmm.
it's not right for a woman to teach a man, and they take him out of context
Hmm.
rather than teaching them within the right framework of the historical culture of why Paul said what he said.
Gotcha.
But I believe women could be deacons, preachers, all that stuff, because obviously they're gifted to be that.
Right.
I mean, come on, why would God bless it if it was wrong?
It's interesting. Like,
Yeah,
I know I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying this,
go
but
ahead and
like
say it.
my mom, like she's one of the first women deacons in our church, and I know
No,
that
boo.
there were some times that she faced, um, some pushback from people just because she was a woman deacon. For me, it didn't quite make sense.
Mhm.
It was interesting to see that people had felt that way.
Here's my problem, right? Here's my problem. Our biggest issue, and Bishop and I both said this publicly. Our biggest issue was when your mom and the other women deacons were raised up. The
Hmm.
biggest flack came from the women, not the men. That was
Hmm.
the most. We thought the women was going to be like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not all of them. We had a lot of women that supported it,
Right. For
but
sure.
some of the biggest drawbacks and conversations we had to have with people were other women, and that continues to blow my mind.
Hmm.
Like you would think that you would support these people walking through the door because now it allows other people to come on in too.
Hmm.
It's amazing to me.
So, thinking that, I don't mean to cut you off, but like women,
Good.
like, do you think it really is just a leadership thing, or is there like a sense of jealousy too?
Us both. There are some women that don't believe in women leadership. They'll tell you that only men should lead. And some of it could be some jealousy too. How come I wasn't chosen? How come
Hmm.
they got in first and not us? Not looking at like, they opened the door up and that.
Hmm.
This is a good question right here. Is there a difference between leadership versus headship biblically? I think yes, to a certain degree. Everybody has leadership skills to them, but headship is given to certain authority positions. You know, everybody's not called to be a pastor. To run a church.
Hmm.
When it talks about the husband being the head of the household, again, it doesn't mean he's a dictator of the Lord. It's just if like we need some extra money in the house, I'm not going to work one job and then have my wife work 2 and 3, busting her behind. That's not headship right there.
Hmm.
And then at the same time, our wives should be able to trust our decision making. It doesn't mean that we make decisions outside of talking to our spouse. It's just if this is where we talk about it, this is where you feel God has taken us. I trust your
Hmm.
leadership. Now, here's what it goes to. If you don't trust your man's leadership, why would you marry him?
That's a problem.
People always talk about, well, submission is bad and submission. Well, if you can't, the question is not, do I have to submit? The question is, if he doesn't live in such a way, I'm not saying he's perfect,
Hmm.
that naturally brings a nature of I want to follow this man, then you shouldn't be with him.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking, talking to singles here.
Hmm.
That last time I checked, I don't care how strong a woman is, you still a woman, and you want a strong man with you for the most part that you can trust, you can go to for advice. Y'all can talk about stuff together as partners, but you want him to be able to handle some pressure. You don't want somebody, you don't want somebody breaking in the house and he turn around and look at you. Hey, somebody else, can you go up there? You don't want that?
Do something about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The car, the tire blew out on the outside. Babe, I don't know how to fix that. You know, you want some leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
So with that though, because I feel like there are a lot of strong women out there. Do you think that sometimes the guys get complacent and say, "Oh, she can handle it. She'll be okay"?
I think part of it, yes and no. Here's the other part too. I think let's qualify. This is good. I didn't even we were gonna go here today.
Yeah.
Let's qualify strong leadership.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people what they call insecure leadership, strong leadership. What do I mean by that? They're overbearing and they try to control the other person, and they call that strong leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were raised to only take care of yourself, or watch this, raised where the only thing you did was, handled your business, and you had to ask nobody to do nothing, you did it all on your own, you ain't need nobody, and then you finally get somebody, and you treat the person like you don't need them.
Yeah.
Why are you with them?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen some henpecked men out here now, and that woman is in control, and you can tell she's not respected. You can tell she's not respected. And you've seen some insecure men that control their woman. You ask her a question, he answers. And I think that's not leadership right there. That's not headship right there. That's control right there, and something's wrong with that. Mm-hmm. So you see some people that take headship and turn it into control. You shouldn't want to get married to control somebody. If you want to control something, go get a pet.
Right. Please do.
Go get a plan. But you want, hey Steph, but you want people to be strong. I remember I was listening to Bishop Jakes one time. He was saying how I think he put it like this. He said driving, he was good on the highway and his wife was good in the streets. So they would trade off. When it was in the streets, she would drive, and the highway, he would drive. And that dynamic, they learned to work it together.
Right.
And what I'm saying is you learn to leverage each other's strength in a relationship. And when you learn to leverage each other's strength and you trust the person with that strength, you say, look, you're stronger in this area than me. You got it. I'll take a step back and you lead it, and I'll support you. Right. When it's over here, you take a step back, I'll lead it. It depends on the dynamic. It works with each other.
Being able to have that balance and, like you said earlier, respect that, they have these qualities that I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, you just throwing it all on me today, huh?
Yeah, this is maximizing your time with Pastor Nick.
Oh, whatever. I saw this, somebody put this comment up there too, something similar. Especially women raised to single parents who handled everything. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard for, and I get it. When you were raised to do everything on your own and, you make decisions on your own, do all that stuff, it's hard to get with somebody and share that authority with that person. Mm-hmm. When I was living by myself, I can just leave. I want to go somewhere, I'm out. Now, you good? You need anything while I'm going? I got to run to the store real quick. You got the kids. It's like, this whole process, that both of us got to go through. You know what I'm saying? And some people have a hard time giving up that authority, and they see it as a weakness rather than a strength. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that comes with trust. When I trust you, I can share my weaknesses with you. Yeah. I don't mind calling you. Oh, I'll be home in 10 minutes. I'm running a little behind. Versus, I'm grown. I ain't got to call nobody, tell them behind. You're going to have a problem in your relationship.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say. I feel like, especially maybe in newer marriages, like coming to that understanding is a little rocky at first. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not.
Well, I think that's where let's go like this. It takes you one moment to become a unit. Mm-hmm. It takes you years to become a good team. The marriage ceremony will make you a unit. The marriage itself is where teamwork is worked out. It's like a sports example. Mm-hmm. Just because you sign the top 4 greatest players on one team doesn't mean they'll work together well. They're highly gifted, but they may not be highly gifted good together.
Mhm.
This is why, is my belief. I'm not against big weddings. I had a nice wedding, one of the best ones I've seen.
Yeah, I was there. It was a nice wedding.
Right. Man, that night went by like a blur. I only remember a few things from that night.
Yeah.
It was, oh my God, I was stressed out my mind. It was interesting. Anyway, that's besides the point. What was I talking about? Oh, the teamwork thing, right?
Yes.
Most people invest more in the marriage ceremony than they do the actual marriage. They don't want to go to premarital counseling. They don't do all that stuff. But what they want to do is spend a whole bunch of money on a wedding, $25,000 between the wedding, the reception,
Wow.
and the honeymoon. But they won't spend months getting premarital counseling to make sure they can work together after the marriage. You talk to most people about marriage, they're not thinking about all the real hard times of being married.
Right.
They're not talking about, when kids come in, how your marriage dynamic changes, how when you're lacking sleep, then all of a sudden your reactions towards each other change at 3:00 in the morning when both of y'all, those things change.
Mhm.
But most people, when they think of marriage, we're going to be happy together. We're going to be able to do what we want to do. It's going to be us. We're going to be together all the time. It's going to be super romantic. It's going to be great. And then when you have your first fight, you're like, oh my God.
Reality. It's true. So do you think, how long do you think people should wait before they actually get married?
To me, honestly, I think that, let me pin this question. I think that you should take as much time as you can before you walk down that aisle.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather you err on the side of caution and wait too long
Right.
than you rush to get into it.
Right.
You learn as much as you can about yourself and each other. So by the time you walk down that aisle, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. It's like the investment is in the marriage. People invest so much in the wedding, not the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it. You spend a year planning for the one day. Watch this. A ceremony that lasts 25 minutes, a half hour at the most. A half hour at the most. And then you expect that 20 minutes to last you for the rest of your life? Because why? We don't go to counseling to figure out, can we actually live together after this?
Right.
Especially if you've been living by yourself for a while.
That's a big change.
Doing your own thing. That's a big change, man. That's a huge change. Now you got people in your space. I remember the first time I had to give a closet up. I was mad, I was like, you can have this whole entire house. I don't care. Do what you want with it.
Give me my closet.
Mess my closet up.
That's funny.
I had to organize. I'm an organized person. Had everything just right there, right when I can walk right in and just bang, 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 boom. Had to get my closet up. Still mad to this day about it. But it's a big change, though.
Yeah, it's true. My mom just said you must have your first major fight first and then see how you both deal with conflict.
Yeah, it's real. Because, when you're not married, if we're mad at each other, I can always go home. If we out on a date, all right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But when you mad at each other and you live together, you can only sit in your driveway but so long. You got to come into the house. You got to come into the house.
Yeah.
And y'all have to work it out.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have to talk. Not too long. I mean, my wife and I, our greatest asset is our ability to talk to each other. I think the reason why is because we were best friends for a few years before we actually started dating.
Mm-hmm.
So at the base of our relationship, we were friends. And that friendship allows us to have tough conversations and work through stuff, because at the end of the day, I'm her friend and her husband, but I'm her friend first.
Right.
I believe in friends first. And then, that's why I think people, especially nowadays, they rush too fast to get into a relationship.
The whole online dating thing,
it's like we're a couple, but then we figure out, can we be friends?
Yeah. I don't get how people can meet and then get married 3 months after they first met. That's too fast for me.
It's way too fast for me.
You can't say that you know everything about that person.
You don't. It's a big risk doing it that way. But again, if you're looking at it as a lifetime thing, you take your time, because what's a
Mhm.
few years of actually getting to know each other compared to the rest of your life?
Right.
And people talk about those rare instances of we met a month later, we got married, and together for 7 years. First off, that was back in 1960.
It was different times back then.
Right. and those are rare occurrences.
Mhm.
We're talking about rare occurrences compared to the whole norm.
Mhm.
When trust is broken before marriage, she had the whole other part of the question. Where is it?
Let's
I'm
see.
sorry. How can you work on and restore trust after it's been broken? That's really hard. First, it goes like this: forgiveness first. Now, depending on what you do, depends on how you forgive. And if you choose to stay in a relationship after trust has been broken, forgiveness starts the process of healing. It's not all healed. Forgiveness does not restore trust. It opens the door for trust to be restored. So it's forgiving the person for it and giving the person space to prove that they've changed, while also being real about your feelings at the same time. I forgave you, but I'm still hurt. I forgave you. We're going to work on this, but I'm still upset. I mean, I'm uptight.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean you walk around, going off on the person.
Mhm.
Punch them
Keyword.
in the real, and you making them pay for it the whole entire time, trying to
Yeah.
get it back and all that. But it takes time. It takes years to build trust, one moment to destroy it, and even more years to build it back up again. And then, quite honestly, when trust has been broken, there's still a little secret place in the person's mind where they're still kind of a little bit like,
Yeah.
I'm open, but there's still a little side of me that understands what your potential is.
Right. It's
And
eye-opening.
it is very opening. But it can happen. We've counseled many couples back from some crazy broken trust. And I would say go to counseling too, because counseling works. Trust me, we've helped save people's marriages. Y'all would never know who they are, but
Wow.
we've done that, and God has been faithful, and it can happen. Depends on what it is, and also if you're going to take the person back, you have to do the work within yourself with the person to get the relationship back on track. It can't be a one-sided thing.
Mhm.
That's if you choose to stay.
Wow. I don't know. On the out, because I'm not there yet, but like from the outside looking at, like I have my non-negotiables. Like you do this,
Mhm.
we're done. But I know that's easier said than
You say
done.
that until you're in it.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that I'll never put up with this. I'll never
Mhm.
put up with this. No woman or no man ever woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to get into an abusive relationship. They'll say, I'll never let somebody put their hands on me until they're in a situation. I'm not saying you should do that. But what I'm saying is, like you said, some people, I remember one person said this. She's like, if my man ever cheated on me, I'll never take him back. And somebody that's been through that would say, you
Wow.
never know what you'll do.
Mhm.
Because when you got kids, time, house, money, and you love the person, I'm not saying that. Depends on the situation. You can leave or you can choose to stay, but
Mhm.
it's different when you're in it. It's totally different when you're in it.
Mhm.
You know,
So then, in that situation, if you have those non-negotiables, how do you handle like that internal conflict at the same time that you have it? Hey, I said I would never do this, but yet here I am now. You know what I'm saying?
yes, I think this is where a part of being flexible in life comes. Now, let me qualify this statement. I am not talking about somebody abusing you.
Mhm.
I am not talking about that. I'm not talking about somebody punching you in your face and you just sitting there dealing with it. No,
Right.
you leave the house. Your life is on the line. You're being hurt. Bounce. Okay? I am not talking about that. Please don't get this twisted what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Do not let somebody abuse you and you just stay and say whatever. But there are times where I counsel one couple, the guy that cheated one time and kind of worked their way back. But again, when you got kids, family, stuff together, time in, it's not as easy to do that. And part of it is over time you mature and you grow.
Mhm.
I guess it's kind of hard to say. It's case by case.
Yeah.
It's a case by case situation. You know, it's different if I'm not saying it's right. It's different if it's a one time thing versus you found out this person for 7 months, a year, 2 years. I'm not saying the one time is good. Please, I'm not saying it at all. What I'm saying is that, again, when you're in that situation, you just never know what you'll do. And some people are like, yo, one time and I'm out. And they do it. They are gone. And I'm not mad at them. Some people choose to work on it, and I'm not mad at them either. It depends on your situation. To me, always go to counseling first. Figure out what the best choices are, because when you're really mad, you don't think straight.
Right. You make very rash decisions.
Yeah, you packing everything up and leaving your kids there. Yeah, just, you know. And then here's the crazy thing: you leave the house.
Yeah.
And then you want a divorce, and then you want the house, and then the judge asks the question: who's leaving? Who left the house? I left the house. Then you left the house. You there's stuff involved in this.
Yeah.
People don't think about that stuff.
Yeah.
There's stuff involved in it. Sound like a strawberry letter in here today. So it's case by case. I would always say do counseling. Those are just my thoughts.
Here's a question. Why do men cheat? And then they're going to want to come back to you after they cheated on a good woman or man.
Let me answer this in the. Let me answer your question first. I answer it both ways, because you know what's interesting though. A couple of my counseling appointments were women cheating.
Okay.
I'm like, ooh, interesting. And I think that some people, they don't value what they have until they're getting ready to lose it, and that's a problem. You shouldn't value. It shouldn't. The loss of somebody shouldn't make you value who you have. Some people just don't know how to love properly, you know. And when they realize, because here's the question: if you never got caught, would you be this guilty? What if nobody found out about it? Would you keep doing it? Which, again, the person has a right to question. Well, if I never caught you, would you have kept doing this? Now you care. But did you care before? Now, let's break down some narratives here, since we already busting up some thoughts now. I'm probably get myself in trouble on this one. But not in trouble, but just a thought. The belief is, if a man cheats, it's because he's trifling. If a woman cheats, it's because he gave her a reason to. That's not true. Cheating is wrong no matter what drove it, whether it was you being trifling or whether, you know, somebody drove you to it. But there are men that felt unfulfilled in their marriage. And then there are women that just want to go out and have a good time. You know, it goes both ways. And then there are some men that are just straight trifling. But again, that goes back to most men are taught early about games, having fun. So they treat relationships like games and having fun. So they watch this. They break the toy and still play with it.
Wow.
And they think that the woman is the same way. You break the toy and she'll still be there. And then at the same time, let's take a very general statement. We teach people how to treat us. So we keep allowing a certain behavior, then that person is going to continue doing that behavior. Right. So, you know, it's bad overall. Here's my thought. I'd much rather you leave than cheat. Just say, you know what, this ain't gonna work. We need to separate. I'm out. You know, or just don't cheat. Go home. You know, if you feel that despondent in your relationship, go get some counseling. Right. You know, don't make a rash move because you can't control your emotions.
But is it easy for people to say, hey, I think we need counseling? I feel like just the word counseling is something that's very stereotyped, or people don't hear that word and they try to run the other way.
Say that again. This comment had me crack. Sorry.
Wait, what comment?
No, go ask the question again.
I said, I feel like when people hear the word No, I know what comment. When they hear the word counseling,
Okay.
they hear that and they run the other way because it's such of a stereotype that comes with it.
Oh, especially for Black people. You know, we just
Mhm.
got to throw some Jesus on it and pray about it. It's going to be worked out. But that's not true. Counseling is important. You need counseling. You need help. And a lot of people counsel, I don't want nobody knowing my business.
Mhm.
But sometimes you need somebody knowing your business, somebody an outsider that can come in and fix it. Another thing too, some people don't want to go to counseling because they don't want to be called on their stuff too. You know, because their stuff's going to get called out.
Right.
But we got to take the stigma off of counseling, especially Black America. Somebody was talking about their fiance cheating, kicked him out. It was like, you cheating on him. You cheating on him too. You cheated on him with 2 men. She's like, well, he don't know that. So the lady was cheating. Found the man was cheating, kicked him out. But because she didn't get caught, she got mad at him and kicked. What kind of relationship?
How does that work?
What's going on with this? What's going on with this? So, but I think counseling is totally important for any relationship. Even honestly, I know some couples, even when nothing's wrong in a relationship, they still go to counseling sometimes just to kind of make sure stuff is on the up and up.
Mhm.
They go talk to somebody that's outside to continue to perfect their marriage. And I think if we start looking at marriage as a journey, that if I'm in this thing until death do us part, we need to continue to intentionally work on bettering our marriage. That's the thing. I think people get sloppy and they get content and they stop working on it.
Wow.
But marriage is a journey. We're supposed to grow together and keep working with each other and keep growing, because the me at 27, I'm somewhat the same, but I'm matured more in the past 11 years this year. And then when I turn 55, you know, the 38 me, the 55 me is going to be, you know,
Mhm.
so can we grow together? That's important.
Yeah.
I'm tired now. It's been an hour.
I know.
I got some more
We
questions.
talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this was not supposed to go this route.
We went.
But your post fascinated me today. It's pretty cool.
Gotta be more mindful what I put out there then.
Why? It was good.
You don't ever comment. You don't like.
I don't like a lot of people's stuff. I mean, not like, you know, like, I'm talking about to hit the like button.
Uh-huh.
I'll right now I will go and put a heart next to it and like it.
Thank you.
These millennials, they need so much affirmation with the small stuff. What are some things a couple should consider when seeking a good counselor? Well, if you know, here, your thing just came up. I'm liking it right now.
Thank you.
You'll get the notification. Millennials, just go get your daughter, please. I would think that you look for somebody that's fair, that's objective. Not every pastor can counsel appropriately, because a lot of them don't know how to do it. There are those who know how to do it and talk to a couple, break it down, the whole thing. Looking for somebody open, somebody honest, a counselor that has some experience. You remember here at Bethany, you know, Bishop and I are always open for counseling. You call and we can work it out. But even just a regular counselor, say somebody want to do individual counseling too. We have a counseling program here. We have some good people that you can refer to. Mm-hmm. We can refer you to. Sometimes people don't find the right counselor until maybe like the third one, you know? But I would say don't shut it down because, you know, you can't find the right one immediately. But you want somebody private, of course, somebody know what they're talking about. Somebody's not going to put their biased thoughts into your situation.
Do you think, I feel like this is an obvious question, but do you think there's a benefit to going to a spiritual counselor as opposed to someone who just has that degree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because spiritual counseling get down to the spiritual, emotional ruts of stuff. So there are people that we counsel that see a therapist on the side and see us. We take care of one part, they take care of some other digging part.
Gotcha.
And both work together, because we forget that some of the things we experience have spiritual ramifications to them.
Right.
So we do the spiritual, social, and all that stuff. But we also know when somebody needs medication, you need to talk to a therapist. Right. Coming to us, talk to that person, and we work it out that way. Because there are people that we've counseled that coming to both actually help them progress faster, or one prepared them for the other one. So I believe the spiritual counseling is very good, especially faith-based.
Right. Do you
And
ever, sorry, go ahead.
that's not somebody's going to tell you to pray about it.
Do you work with those other counselors? Or is it just,
Not as much
yeah,
calling them, you know, it's more with the person,
gotcha.
you know, and the cool thing is that for the most part, not all the time, most times we can, you know, probably Bishop better than I am, but kind of sniff
Mhm.
through the manure.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right, saying it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're like, something ain't right here. Nah, no. You listen to people well enough, you know, you'll get,
Right.
it's 105. I'm tired. Anybody else? Come on. Any other questions or anything? I hope y'all enjoyed this today.
Yeah, this is good.
Are we gonna like keep doing this ongoing? I don't mind it. Just asking, so I
We
can
can.
prepare myself.
Yeah.
Why
Let's,
1 o'clock? What's so good about 1 o'clock?
well, 1 o'clock is like around lunchtime for people. And now that we're all home, we need something to do during the day.
So when we go back, everything goes back. We're gonna switch this to like noon or
Yeah, we'll have to play it
like
out by ear.
lunchtime thing. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, y'all tune in for some stuff. I think tomorrow Bishop's going live, right, at 10:30.
Yeah, so we're doing a live book reading from his book Elevate, that is available for pre-order now.
Yep.
So he's going to read the first chapter of that book
Yeah,
for
talk
us.
about it.
Mhm.
We're taping some stuff tomorrow too. After that, we'll talk about that after we get off line.
You okay?
Right. Of course, Wednesday we have Bible study in the evening. Thursday, Gary
Mhm.
Diggs is going live at 1, right? Doing a music thing.
Yes, a live worship experience, and just some of the more, I don't want to say strategy, but what comes into play in playing out the worship songs and whatnot that we hear every Sunday.
Okay, good. He's doing that, and then Thursday night we're having a mental health session at 7:30.
Mhm.
Bishop and a few other guests are going to come in and talk about mental health during this time. Friday we're working on something. Anything Friday morning?
Friday morning, nothing live.
Nothing live Friday morning. Friday night. Well, Alex, the because of the whole pandemic, a lot of places have been shutting down manufacturing. So probably after this is all over, everybody will get their books and stuff. Friday night, we're trying to do something with some preachers. Myself and a few others are going to be on talking about some stuff. And Saturday at 10:30, we're
Yeah.
having a leadership seminar, usually in-house only, but this coming Saturday, we're going to show it to the whole world from 10:30 to about 12:30. So,
Mhm.
that's a good question. Let's answer this question quick before we leave.
Okay.
What's your advice for women that are making more financially than their male spouse and will not let him lead based on that?
Wow. That's a big question.
Ooh, that's loaded. Let me ask you this question then. Oh yeah, if you didn't watch Crimes Against Heaven yesterday, it's still up, right?
Yep, it's still up. Facebook and YouTube.
Go back and watch Crimes Against Heaven. It was aired yesterday, and then watch a couple other stuff. Let me ask y'all ladies in the comments, as well as Maya, can you marry a man, respect him long term? Notice I said long term.
Mhm.
Now he works hard. You know, not saying he's lazy, sitting home playing PlayStation, watching TV. He works hard. He has a good job, but you make more money than him. Can you respect him long term?
I think so. I mean, I'm not in there yet, so it's hard to say, but I like to think that I could. It matters to me, like you said, he's still um, putting in the work and not just hanging around at home and playing PlayStation. Like he has to bring some stuff to the table. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Because there are a lot of women that say that until they get with it, then it's like, well, you're supposed to be the
I
provider, you're supposed to
know.
be the man, and I make more money, so I make all the decisions. I'm the one paying most of the bills around here. Who are you to tell me I can't do this?
That's just the wrong spirit.
I'm just asking. There are some that can't do it. And there are some that can, and they're absolutely
Mhm.
fine with it. She make more money, but he helps out and does stuff, and you know, he may be a janitor and he works hard, but a lot of women feel more comfortable when their man's bringing in some money. I mean, unless you Oprah, but you know. right. I mean, I'm just saying, but I mean, for some, it's not an issue, but some,
Yeah.
mm, but you also think that's due to conditioning that the man is supposed to be the head of the household financially too, make more money and provide
Right.
for his family.
Right.
But what if she's a CEO of a company and he just works in tech? She's making six figures. He's making $50,000.
Or what if she's the boss?
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, she's the CEO. She's the boss. She
Yeah.
making $300,000 a year. He making $40,000 a year. Can the
Yeah.
woman handle it? We gonna get to yours in a minute. Y'all always trying to flip it around. Yeah. Can y'all handle it? Can you look at it as our money? Or if he says, babe, I don't think we can afford that, that's a good financial decision. Who you talking about? Look, I'm the one making the money.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. Could you manage that?
Oh no.
I'm going through all the scenarios now. Look at y'all. See, yeah, now some of y'all are like, what you mean I can't spend that money on that? I make more money than you. Who you gonna tell me what to do with my money?
I can see that happening. Yeah.
See, exactly my point. Can you deal with it long term? So, I want to buy this car. Like, babe, it's not a good time to get this car because we got the kids. We got to do this stuff. Well, your $40,000 can't afford it.
That's a tough question, Pastor Nick.
See, I told you,
Yeah.
it's a tough question because again, it's easy to say that till you're in a situation.
Mhm.
But then at the same time, could that be part conditioning? Like I said, because we were taught that man is always supposed to be the chief breadwinner of the house. Then your mom asked the question because y'all women love to flip stuff. I'm playing. Can a man handle it? And that's hard for some men to handle. He may not feel like a man because she makes more money than him, and he may feel emasculated. I think that all depends on his own security, because it's easier to spend your money than to spend mine.
Right.
Let Tiff make some Oprah money, man. Please, I'm trying to tell you something. I will
make that money.
Shoot, make that money, girl. Buy me a car. But
that's true. Like they're saying 50-50. Like my money is your money.
Now you're diving into a whole nother conversation. So let's finish this off. So can a man deal with that? Some can, some can't. But it's foolish for a man to have 1-bedroom apartment. Sister girl got a 4-bedroom house. Y'all get married, move in with me to my what bedroom? Hello, bruh. You better upgrade. but also a woman that's making more money, still has to be able to understand that her man is still the man in the relationship. I know some women that are pastors, and they say at the church, I'm the pastor. I'm home. He is the husband. I am not the pastor. I am not the boss when I get home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how she shows her husband his respect and love. Because again, at church, he goes with what she says. She the pastor of the church. When she goes home, she still honors him as her husband. Mm-hmm. So there's always that dynamic. Now, the other thing is this. Now, y'all brought up money now. This is a whole nother topic. Some couples do separate personal accounts for y'all to spend, a joint account for bills, and then either like a joint savings account. Some people just have one account for bills, one account for saving, and y'all work those 2 accounts out. Mm-hmm. And y'all just, whatever's in the pot, that's for both people, and y'all just budget that. It depends on how well each person manages money. Because if both y'all manage money well and y'all go through a budget, y'all could have one account, one savings, one account where y'all just pay bills and do whatever. But some people, they want 2 separate accounts. We put our money in a joint account. This month goes to bills. This mine, this yours. And then we go spend those. It all depends on what's best for the couple.
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong when it comes to that. Because some people go through money like fire.
But I feel like that's all stuff you should know before you get married. So that's what the problem comes in too.
Exactly. You should know that before you get married.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where the whole premarital counseling comes from. So y'all work out how your relationship is going to work out, including financially. What's your credit like before we get married? Mm. How much debt do you have before we get married?
Mm-hmm.
How much savings do you have before you get married? What's your spending habits like? Do I need to hide money from you? Because if I put it out, you're going to spend it all on some shoes. All right, we're like going overboard.
Yeah.
This was actually good. This was good.
Good stuff.
We'll come back next Monday and talk more about this stuff.
So next Monday we're talking about.
I don't know. Whatever we feel like talking about.
Okay. Well, how about we'll do it this way too.
Oh,
You guys,
I forgot. She has to plan everything out. She has to
I
know
am a
everything ahead of
planner.
time. She's a planner. It's got to be totally right. Sister LaBoo, she didn't get that from you, did she?
Yeah, I
Everything
did.
she has to know everything 100% beforehand.
Maybe not 100%, but at least 80.
Yeah,
So how about we do it this way too? You can.
I don't mind having a topic. Yes,
How about okay? You
I like
guys
the free
watching.
flow, though.
You guys watching. Let us know in the comments what are some things that you like to talk about and hear from Pastor Nick.
From
We
that,
can kind of use that. Yes.
that'll make Maya feel more comfortable. Yeah, your own mom said not from you. See,
She lying. She lying.
well, how come when me and her talk, we be just creating stuff together? She just jumps right in. We go into a meeting,
She
just
has her notes. I
we-
see him.
no, but there are times when we start talking about new ideas, and she'll give me that look like, and then we start talking some more, and we just roll together. Lord, I'm working with two LaBoos. Praise the Lord. Y'all good. All right, y'all. I gotta get some work done. Well, I'm already working now, but some more.
All
Yes,
right, cool.
yes, Yolanda. Planning is good. Yes,
Okay, see, that's all we get
No.
along.
planning is good. Some things are great planned out, but a lot of these conversations that we have that work so well are just complete spontaneous. We just start talking, and stuff just starts coming out.
Uh-huh.
Look how scared she looks. It's so funny. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Cool.
All right, let's get off this thing. We're on like our fifth close.
I know. We gotta go. Bye.
Bye, y'all. See you.